And thank all you guys for coming to our events. This wouldn't be anywhere near as fun if none of you showed up. So thanks again for coming out to all of our events. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Show of hands, who has one of these Helix model bikes? Cool. Sweet. Awesome. So some of this will be familiar to you because I'm going to go over everything. And hopefully this plan works out. All right, guys, first thing I wanted to go over is just basics. So hand controls, because everything changed this year or last year on these things. So this left-hand module is basically the easy way to think about it is this one's here to control the bike. This one's here to control your, oh no. Hold on. All right, so left-hand controller controls the bike. Right-hand controller controls your entertainment features. But you got some outliers there, but for the most part. So this one, this is your main menu button, and that correlates to this main menu button. They both do the same thing. You want to be able to use the touchscreen, but you want to not have to use the touchscreen, right? So this gets you to your menu, and then you can use these arrows to navigate around. And you can also just touch things on here. So either way, whatever's more comfortable for you. These are usually a lot easier while you're moving. So menu, basic controls. Up on top here, you have your cruise control. This button in the middle turns it on. You see it just popped up on the screen there, right there. So it tells you it's on. And then to set it, there we go. Hit the down button to set, and then you can speed up and slow down with the up and down arrows. I feel like people don't use that too much though, because it's most of what people use this for is you set it so that you can shake your right hand out after you've been riding for like an hour and everything hurts. And then up on top here, hard to see, but that's your high beam switch. So pull it like a trigger to flash the cops. And then push out if you want it to stay on. This is also what controls your HomeLink garage door opener. Some of you have CVOs, or if you bought the HomeLink system, you just flash that at your garage door and it'll open it for you. Down here, this seems pretty self-explanatory, but there's something to mention here. So turn signal is really easy to get to. Horn, most of the time when you want to use the horn, something bad's happening, right? So something bad's happening, your hand's probably on the clutch, and it's real hard to reach that, right? But it's way easier if you just push it this way. So the whole plan of this thing was to make it more ergonomic. Gotcha. That was my favorite part of the whole thing. Cool. Now right-hand control, what'd you say?
Thanks, Professor Brandon.
Got you, bro. Oh, my foot's on the brake. So right side here.
Pretty good.
Hi, Ellie. We got the flashers, your on-off switch. You don't have to press and hold to start your bike anymore. One tap and it cycles through the starting process. And then here you've got play, pause, stop. And then, so put PTT. So for those of you who are gonna wear a helmet, we're gonna go over that too. If you're gonna wear a helmet with a comm unit in it, this will control your voice commands on your bike. So if you're driving down the road and you have a destination in there and you wanna add a gas station, push this button, navigate to the nearest gas station. If you press and hold it, it will open up your comm for your passenger too. So if there's two of you and your headsets are connected together, sometimes the wind noise will get in the way and you won't be able to hear each other. If you press and hold this, it cuts out all the wind noise and you guys can just talk. Kind of like you're in a helicopter. I don't know if you've ever done the helicopter thing where you can hear really good between the two. So that kind of does that for you. This is your phone button. If you're in a phone call, you press that, it'll hang up. If you're not in a phone call, you press it and it's not gonna do anything because my phone's not connected. Once it is, it'll pull your phone up. So yeah, that's just control your music. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Flashers, start. Same thing with the horn. If you want to change your ride mode, you can change it while you're moving, in case you were wondering. So you just push on your turn signal there. You can see it change in your dash in the bottom left corner here. And then one more thing on the hand controls. You can see right there, there's a little wheel gear on your brake lever. So you can change the position of it so it fits your hand just right, which is kind of sweet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
They had that on the clutch as well, or no?
It's not on the clutch. And they, as far as I know, they don't make an adjustable Harley clutch. I know other companies make adjustable levers, but Harley doesn't seem to make an adjustable clutch lever yet. I don't know why they chose to do one and not the other, but yeah. Any other questions on the hand controls, anybody? While we're going over the hand controls, if you ever want to put this on a trailer, you need to put it in transport mode so the security system doesn't go crazy on you. And it used to be, I know a lot of you guys know you turn it off and you hit both turn signals. It's not that anymore. You turn it off. I'm gonna get ready over here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go left turn signal and high beam switch at the same time after we turn it off. So turn it off, both switches, and you'll see on the display it comes up as, yeah.
Dom, you showed me wrong.
God damn it, Dom. Yeah, to get it out of transport mode, just turn it on. To put it back in, we're just gonna turn the bike off. Once we turn it off, we're gonna go left turn signal.
You're froze.
Thank you. Bike's on. So we're gonna go left turn signal, high beam switch. Oh wait, we gotta turn it off first. Turn it off, left turn signal and high beam switch. And transport mode. So to get it out of transport mode, just turn the bike back on. But I'm gonna turn it back off for now, because what we wanna do is when you're in your garage and you're messing around with this thing and trying to get comfortable with it, which is the best way to get used to it, is just mess around with it. You don't wanna turn it on here, because when you turn the bike on all the way, you charge a fuel pump, you charge the ignition coil, you got your headlight on, your battery is just suffering. So you wanna use accessory mode. And the way you do that, your trip switch right here, press and hold for about 3 seconds. You'll hear it when it comes on. So now we're in accessory mode, so we're using less power. All right, now we're in here. We did accessory mode. So main display here, right? So this is pretty self-explanatory. You got your fuel gauge, you got your speedometer. Over here, your tachometer, your odometer's in the bottom. In the middle here, these are your widgets, and you control those with this switch here, the same one I used to put it in accessory mode. If you push it, it'll switch you. So we're in trip A right now. Trip B. If you want to clear these out, press and hold. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm in accessory mode and it'll turn the bike off. And then it tells you your outdoor temperature. That's the amount of range you have in your fuel tank right now. Tire pressure monitoring. So we're a little low on the tire pressure. And back to 0. Oh, and the compass. When you do turn the bike on, right here next to your clock, there's going to be a traction control and an ABS light. Every time you turn it on and start it, those are going to flash at you until you hit about 5 miles an hour. So don't be surprised or think that something's wrong. That's just a system telling you that it's rebooting itself, getting ready for the ride. Any questions on this part?
Does it stay in the same mode that you last left it in, like your sport mode? And
Yep.
Like down, it'll stay.
Yep, 100%. Oh, bottom right here, it shows you where that little Bluetooth thing is. It'll show you all the information about your phone. It'll show you the battery life on your phone, how much battery you have left, how much cell phone signal you have on your cell phone once it's connected. So that's pretty cool. So this is your cruise mode, and this is all the information that you can get at once. And then there's other modes where you can have less information on there. I'm ripping through it now, but I'll show you guys how this works, I promise you. I just want to show you the other. So if you're going to use your GPS, it's best to have it on this mode because all your gauges and everything are shoved into the corner. And now when you've got your GPS on, you've got all this real estate on your screen to see it. Speaking of, I'll show you how to get into, so most of what you see, like people see this for the first time and are overwhelmed by it because there's a gazillion different things you can do. It's not that much the more you get used to it. This is your HomeLink garage door opener. So if you don't have one, you don't need it. This is your Apple CarPlay up here. So if you're not an iPhone guy or if you don't use Apple CarPlay, this is your GPS, your favorites. So there's a lot of different things you can favorite. You can favorite music. If you have a thumb drive with songs on it, you can favorite that song. You can favorite, you can favorite different radio stations, and you can favorite contacts. So like I said, if you have your helmet connected, you can have, you know, your wife, your brother, whoever you need to call while you're driving down the road in case you do in there. And that's pretty much it. And then you have your settings over here. This one here, don't touch it. There's nothing useful in there. You can turn your infotainment on and off, and it causes problems for some reason. I don't know why. If you change things in there, there's no need to. And then everything else, all your real settings are in here. So device manager, that's how we're going to pair the phone. And we're going to pair a helmet also. If you do, who's going to use Apple CarPlay? Sweet. So if you use Apple CarPlay, you have to pair a helmet to it also with a communicator in it. It won't work without it.
You get one of those little things, a little plug into it.
Yup. You still, I mean, there might be one that works without it, but the one I bought does not still work without the helmet. Still needs a helmet.
The parts guy told me went online and it works.
It works without the helmet? Fuck yeah. Cool. Awesome.
So if you're in Apple CarPlay,
Get that one in stock.
will
Uh-oh.
they use the Apple GPS or is it using the Harley GPS?
It'll use the Apple GPS. So, yep. So these don't have, unless you buy an Ultra or a CVO, this embedded navigation doesn't work. So you'll want to use the Apple CarPlay GPS unless you want to buy. So it's, I believe it's $399 for 3 years. There's two different ways you can buy it. You can scan the QR code and just buy it on your phone, or it's the exact same price if you go talk to Dave and Rob and they can do it for you over the counter, and it helps them out. It helps them get their numbers up. So either way, it costs you the exact same amount. You can call them and have them do it. Once it's paid for, either way, you have to connect the bike to some Wi-Fi so that it'll download all the maps and everything. Steve, how do I? Sweet. So I'm going to connect my phone here. So we're going to go add new device.
Can you turn the phone to make the screen?
I tried. It doesn't seem to. Oh, no, it does. Cool. All right. Add new device here. So it's searching for my phone. Got to turn my Bluetooth on here. Yeah, it's probably going to come up with a whole bunch of them. There we go. Pixel 9. So it does this every time. It gives you a code on both your phone and the bike. So just hit pair on your phone, hit accept on here. Now you iPhone guys, at this point, it's gonna pop up on the screen asking if you wanna enable Apple CarPlay. So hit yes if you do. Still, like I said, it's not gonna work unless you get that device he was talking about or connect a helmet.
If you hit yes on Apple CarPlay and you don't have the communication, the helmet, will it screw anything up, or will you just?
Yeah, it just won't work.
The Apple
Yeah,
CarPlay.
yeah, it won't change anything. All right, so phone's connected. So now it's asking me on here if I want to allow it to see messages. So you can allow it to have your text messages pop up on your screen while you're riding down the road, which is kind of sick. All right. So, helmet. A couple different ways you guys can do this. The Harley Outrush 2, or Outrush R, I'm sorry, has a Senna built into it. This one is really good for if you and your passenger are just going to talk to each other. It's not the best if you're going to ride in a big group with 20 guys. It doesn't have the mesh connect feature. It only has Bluetooth. So you can connect this up to 4 or 5 helmets, I can't remember. and it's half a mile range. If you want to be able to connect to a big group of riders, this thing is kind of cool. You can connect up to 20 helmets together. And there's also an open mesh, so it's kind of like a CB radio. So if you're going to a big bike route, anybody else that has one of these on, you can just talk to them. Pull up next to a stranger to stoplight. Harley's bringing people together, you know. But I'm gonna link this one because that's unopened. So you can see here on the helmet, they almost always work the same way. There's a plus, a minus, and then a do everything button. To turn them on and put them in pairing mode, I'm just gonna hit the plus and the minus. You can hear it, it'll say pairing. All right, so you have to hold it a little bit longer to pair. So you press these for a couple seconds to turn it on. You press them and hold them for about 5 seconds, and then it'll say pairing mode. So it's on the screen here as Outrush R. We're gonna pair it up, and then it's gonna ask me some questions. Yeah. Oh, it didn't ask questions. So you got to go in to answer the questions. So you can go into this and tell it if you're the driver or the passenger. So it makes a difference if you're going to be controlling with the PTT button and everything. So make sure you set those right. And you can make it so you can accept phone calls, listen to music, or get your prompts is like your GPS directions. So it'll give you those in your helmet or not. I would enable all of them because you can change it elsewhere. Now that they're all connected, your Apple CarPlay would turn on if I had an iPhone right now. You have to plug, so it has wireless Apple CarPlay. The first time you hook it up, you have to plug your phone in. So for the first connection, and then you have to set up the Wi-Fi on the bike. The bike's Wi-Fi isn't turned on, the Apple CarPlay won't be wireless. Bluetooth doesn't have enough bandwidth to connect or to send all the Apple CarPlay information through. That was a lot. Anybody got questions so far?
Where's the connection point for your phone?
Right inside your drawer here, or on the Road Glide, it's going to be in the right side. It's a USB Type-C, so you need, USB Type-C to whatever your phone has.
Hit the camera.
You let the alarm go.
All right. So we connected our phone, we connected our helmet. Now in sound, we can control what sound goes where. So first button right at the top. Most people who use the helmets and have a Street Glide or a Road Glide, they want the music in the speakers and the directions in the helmet. So that's the way I have it right here. Speakers for the music, prompts are in the headset. If you're ripping down the highway and you can't hear it very well, it's real easy to just go in here and change the music to headset, and then, or vice versa. So that's settings, audio routing. It's the very first. Settings, sound, audio routing is the very first. And you can change the different volume of what's going on. So I like to crank up the GPS direction. So if I'm listening to music really loud, it'll talk over the music so you can hear what's going on. You get separate controls for the passenger and the driver. So that's that. So equalizer, this is fun. I always suggest that everybody leave this on HD signature. What is in here is called a DSP, or a digital signal processor, and it's basically like having
I know all about it.
It's like having a sound engineer sitting behind you, controlling all the changing things so that the sound, you notice so you go to a music venue and you listen to live music and it just sounds better than, that's what this does. And it's doing it, it's like an AI program. You can also, like, if you really like to nerd out and you make your own, you can do a custom EQ, but nothing sounds as good to me as HD signature. It's the best sounding one. And the nice thing about it too is, like, no matter what you connect to it, whatever you're playing, you can't overload the speakers. It's impossible because it's always listening to itself. So you can crank it all the way up, your bass is hitting really hard. You wonder, is that clipping? It doesn't matter, it'll fix itself. It won't blow its own
It
speakers.
doesn't seem like the speakers in the new one are as loud as the older one.
So according to Harley, they're twice as powerful. So they went from 25 watts per channel to 50 watts per channel. It is different though. I think there's more bass on the new ones and it's maybe not pushing as much treble.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's not a lot better. It's destined to be upgraded. You know what I mean? If you really like powerful sound. I don't know. If you guys ever have a chance, that white bike behind you usually lives in our parts department. We almost always have one in there with that's got the Rockford Fosgate Stage 3 audio. That thing will blow your eardrums. It's crazy. It's insane. Speaker setup you won't use unless you're installing your own upgraded audio. You can ignore that. Vox sensitivity. If you're using a helmet, it's important. If you're not, it doesn't matter. So what this does is when you're cruising down the road, your microphone will shut off until the volume that it's getting hits a certain decibel level, so that you're not getting just wind noise. So you're not hearing each other's wind noise back and forth. The higher you go with this, the more sensitive it is. So the more wind noise you're gonna hear. So if you turn this all the way down, you have to talk pretty loud to get it to even activate, but you won't hear any kind of static or anything like that. So you can adjust that as you're on the highway. And if you have this all the way down to where you have to shout to get it to activate, you can hit this PTT button, that's where that comes in, and it activates it automatically. So you're driving down the road and you turned your Vox sensitivity all the way down because all you're getting is static. Just push this if you want to shout something at your passenger. Sweet. Questions?
Can you explain what the PTT button is there for again?
Yeah, that's push to talk. So with it works with the Vox sensitivity. They kind of work together. So if I have my Vox sensitivity all the way down and I put that helmet on and I start whispering, the microphone's not even going to turn on. So nobody else is going to hear what I'm saying. If I push this button, they will hear me. And then if I start shouting, I don't have to push the button. It'll turn on once the audio gets to a certain level, which is kind of cool.
The button will work regardless of what you have that. Right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
even if your Vox is turned all the way up and you want to be sure that you're talking to your passenger, you can always just press that button.
Yep. 100%. And that's press and hold. So you press and hold, you can talk to them. If you press it one time and let go, it activates your bike's voice command system. So press and hold to talk to your passenger, press it once, and then you can say, navigate to the nearest gas station, and it'll just do it. Or you can press it once and say, change the radio station of Pix 106, and it'll just do it. Which is kind of cool. That's where the helmet really comes in. All right. So sound, we went through everything on there. Anybody have any other questions on sound before we move on? Display we started to look at, so we're gonna go through it for sure now. So tour mode is what we're on now. Shoves everything in the corner so you have all this real estate for your GPS. That's really the only reason you would use it. Sport mode I find kind of useless because it's in the middle and it takes up all this space, but it doesn't have all the information that you get with your cruise mode. So for me, I'd be back and forth between cruise mode and tour mode, depending on what I'm trying to do that day. And that's all your displays. You can change it to high contrast, which just flips the black and white, which is kind of neat. If you're out in bright sunlight. Oh, you're not gonna work now. There it goes. You think that works better with this system than the black? Is that easier to see or harder to see?
That's on contrast?
Yeah, that's the high contrast. So it goes from black and white to black and white in a different. I guess this is easier to see. And the auto day night, it just changes the brightness of it based on the ambient light. So if we're outside in direct sunlight. By the way, this is called a, this isn't a regular LCD like on your phone. If this is getting blasted with direct sunlight, it's not going to be washed out like it is here based on the, it's called thin film transit. It almost works like an e-ink, like a Kindle display mixed with a smartphone display. So it's not quite as responsive for video and stuff. You'll see like a little bit of like when you're looking at your GPS and the maps are moving, it's not quite as fluid as it would be on a smartphone display. But the reason for that is because it uses very little power and it's crystal clear and no matter what the light conditions are, which is kind of neat. I guess that's it. Any other questions on display? No? Cuckoo. Showroom burnouts. System settings, you can change your date. I mean, this is all pretty self-explanatory. The only thing that don't go into bike function setup too. That's another thing that screws things up. Someone went into bike function set. What it does is like if you add an accessory fan, you can turn it on, and there's accessory fog lights. Someone went in and turned those things on and didn't have those accessories. And Jason spent like 3 hours trying to figure out why there was like warning lights and stuff on the dash. So don't turn things on that aren't on your bike. Software updates will be automatic once your Wi-Fi is connected. We'll get there. System info, you only really need to go in here. I know Tom asked about this to change your security pin. So let's go back and we're going to start from the beginning to get there. So home screen, settings, system info, change security pin.
Where's the air conditioning mode on that?
It's right here. Hey, you got them down here too.
I knew it had it somewhere.
Oh, so if you're trying to change your security pin, the bike has to be running. It doesn't say that, but if I tried to do it right now, it's just going to tell me the fob's not connected and get mad at me. Even though the fob, it's just a weird glitch. If the bike's running, that won't come up. So you can change it at any time. And then to use it, it's way easier than the old ones. Like you used to have to key it in with the turn signals. If your key's not near you, you turn the bike on, they're just going to give you a number pad and you just type it in. It's that easy.
What's the pin from the factory?
All ones. Yep. Which you should definitely change because I think more and more people know that and can steal your bike.
You don't have a key fob? What's the protocol? What do you have to do?
If you don't have a key fob, you just turn this main switch on, and right on your screen, there's just going to be a number pad, and you just literally just type in your pin, and then it comes to life. So it's way easier than it used to be. The rest of this is all like nerd stuff. This is where it gets really fun. So you have 4 ride modes from the factory. They all are basically presets for they're presets for all of these different features that you can control. So you can change your fuel mapping, which is basically like what you would do with a tuner to a smaller degree. So it gives you more gas, basically. So it gives you more horsepower. So when you go into your engine map, it gives you 3 modes. You got rain, road, and sport. Obviously, sport's going to be your most power. Rain is going to be minimal, and road is right in the middle there. So the other thing that it gives you control over is your throttle by wire. So you don't have a cable connecting your throttle to your hand throttle here. It's all electronic. There's basically a volume knob in here. And then it connects through the computer to a motor that controls your throttle. And what's cool about that, back in the day, if you wanted more throttle response, you'd have to put a more aggressive cam in here. And it's a permanent solution. So if you want more throttle response when you're having a sporty ride with the boys in the country, and then you're cruising on the highway on a long trip. You don't want all that throttle response. You don't want all that engine braking. You can go in and change both of them, which is kind of slick. So engine braking, you have 4 different settings. Same thing for throttle response. And then it's nice being able to control your traction control too, because when you're in rain mode, you get the most safety, but you sacrifice a little bit in feel. It kind of makes the bike feel a little bit numb, if that makes sense. But you're definitely going to want to use it if it's fall and there's pine needles out. It's good to have. It will save you. Like if you're going around a corner and you hit some pine needles and the back end starts to slide out, it just cuts your engine power and it helps the bike stand back up. And it's faster than you can think. Like, there's a reason that Marc Marquez and Pecco Bagnaia, when they're on MotoGP bikes, they're running traction control, because it's more advanced than the human brain, for sure. And then ABS you have a little bit of control over too. So basically your ride modes are presets of all of these functions. And then this custom one, this custom one you can dial in exactly how you want it.
So what you were just showing us is only if we want to customize it. Like, there are 4 presets that we could literally just go to that setting. And we don't have to go and adjust all those.
Yeah.
Those are only there if we want to adjust them.
Yep. And you can even turn off sport mode. Say you want to loan your bike to a friend and you don't want them beating the piss out of it, you can turn off your sport mode. You can turn off your custom mode. What'd you say? Oh, I missed it.
No loaning. We heard a lot of hell no.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know why you would turn off rain mode, but you can. And you can't turn off road mode. But basically what that does is, so if you're just cruising down the road and you hit your mode button, all you got is road mode and rain mode now.
Can you change your modes while you're driving, or do you have to stop?
Nope, you can be moving. You have to stop if you want to turn your traction control all the way off. So that's over here, your TC button. You have to have the engine running. And you have to, I don't know if you have to be in gear or not. I think you have to be in gear. You have to have the engine running, and then you press and hold this TC button for about 3 seconds. It'll turn your traction control right off. Why you'd want to do that? Burnouts, hole shots, or realistically, I mean, sometimes you're going up a steep hill and it's shitty weather and it's raining and you're sliding all over the place and you don't get the power. It's just weird. It's real weird with traction control when there's very limited traction. So if you're having a hard time, turn it off. If you guys ever I'm dumping a lot of information right now. Once you get your bike, please, I'm here all the time. Come on in. We'll set things up. We'll go over stuff again. It's hard to remember all this. The easiest way to do it is like I'm doing right now. Just sit down in your garage and go through every little setting. So we did ride modes. Tuner, it just enables and disables. I wouldn't bother with it. Just leave them all on. Wi-Fi is useful for a couple reasons. If you use the embedded navigation and you want real-time traffic updates and you want weather updates in your GPS, you'll want your Wi-Fi on and connected to your phone's hotspot, so your bike now has an internet connection. And then while that's happening, it's also going to automatically download any software updates that are over-the-air updates that you don't have to come to the dealership for. It'll do map updates too every year. And to do that, turn it on. I don't know how to do it on an iPhone, but on an Android, not everybody's phone comes with hotspot. Sometimes you have to pay extra for it, but it's right here in your quick settings on top on Android. Right there. Looks like a dot with some circles around it. And you can, so basically this becomes a Wi-Fi router. Your cell phone becomes a Wi-Fi router. Your phone now has your bike now has an internet connection, which is pretty cool. Go through everything. That was everything. So that's everything in the settings. The settings is most of the features in here. Now you just have your music. Music's really easy. Phone's already connected. I can play Bluetooth. Once you play a song on it for the first time, it'll know what app you like to use, and it'll automatically play when you hit play. Even if you're just listening to the radio, the sound
So
would
you
cut
have
out.
to bring that in to get updated? How does that work?
Yeah, there's over-the-air updates that you can do through the Wi-Fi, and then there's more serious updates that they'll do for you. So they plug it in.
And they'll do it.
Yep. Yeah. They basically put a thumb drive in here, and they have to leave it on a tender, and it takes like 6 hours, and it just runs. Yeah, it takes forever. It takes so long. And it's usually like 2 or 3 different thumb drives, so you'll have to wait a couple hours, then switch them, wait a couple hours again. So I would, if you're doing a software update, drop it off. Is I guess the point of that. So right now, we're on Bluetooth. We're listening to Bluetooth. If you want to listen to FM radio, this up arrow right here is how you change your source. So hit up. You got AM, FM, Bluetooth. If I had a thumb drive with some music plugged into here, it would be right there. And you can also switch to your CarPlay. To the right here, it takes you back to your audio settings that we saw before from the other screen. It's just a different way to get there. And then to the left here, it allows you to connect to different devices. So like say your wife's on the bike behind you, she wants to control the music, you just switch to her phone. That's pretty much it for the music. It's pretty, well, for the you can save presets for your radio too. I guess I didn't show you that. So let's say River 99.5, we want to save that as a preset. Hit your down arrow here, brings you to your tuner favorites. Press and hold. Boom, it's added. You can go down and delete it if you want also. I know that was a lot, guys. Do we have questions on the audio? Other questions?
Brendan, how do you switch back and forth between the helmet and the speakers?
So we're gonna go main menu, settings, sound, and the very first one on top here is audio routing. So you can choose, you want your music in your headset, you hit headset. You want your GPS prompts in your headset, so you can go back and forth. You get to control both separately. All right, GPS is next. All right, I'm gonna change the display mode so we can see it better. So I'm gonna go into display, layout. We're gonna go back to that tour mode so that we can see the whole GPS screen. And from here, that's where you find all your addresses. You hit the little magnifying glass, and then if you hit it again here, you can type in an address. That's your favorite addresses. That's your most recent addresses, and then gas station. But if you hit search here, so you can type it in, and then if you don't want to type it in, there's points of interest along here, and then there's more points of interest. So if there's anything you're looking for, you don't have to pull out your phone and look up the nearest whatever. You can just find it here, which is kind of
So that only works if you buy it, right?
Yeah, if you have a CVO or an Ultra, you have it automatically for 3 years. There we go. Otherwise, it's $3.99.
So how do you make the Apple CarPlay that big? On the screen.
Just by putting it in tour mode where you crunch all your stuff over here. So we can do that again. We'll go menu button, settings, display, layout, and then you change it to tour mode. It won't be quite as big as the Harley embedded GPS. It will get bigger though.
Okay.
It won't fill the screen as much as this does. So let's search for an address. Let's just go somewhere so we can show you some other stuff. So we're gonna go to Exxon. Doesn't really matter because. So while we're in here, routes, you can change fast, winding, or short. You can also avoid tolls, avoid interstate highways, all that stuff. And I know one of you asked me if there's a way to make it default to twisty, I think it was you, right? To make it default to twisty roads, and so you don't have to go in and change it every time. So that is, we'll go back one more time here. That's up here. That's where your settings are. Oop. Nope, I was mistaken. Back. It's this one here. So your settings are in here. Full settings. See where it is on there? So you can set it. So this is your preferred route type. So from now on, it's always going to take you on a windy road. And you can go in and change it like I showed you before. Once you search for it, you can go in and change it. So we'll go back to Exxon. You ever been driving down the road and you have a destination in mind, but you want to stop at a gas station or something, and you make a couple turns and just keep shouting recalculating, turn around, and you just want it to shut the hell up? This button here, and route. That's the most common question I got when these came out, and even on the Rushmore models, the most common question I got from customers is, how do I make this thing shut the fuck up when I just want to stop and go get gas or something?
Now, I got the 2022,
Yep.
and it's a little different than this. Now, I can have it pause.
Yep.
Let's do the pause also.
I don't think so.
If mine keeps telling me to get off, turn around, go, what the hell you doing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can just hit that little thing, and it comes up, stop, cancel, or pause.
Here, let's try it. I don't think you can do that on this. I think you have to go back in and just start your route again. Yeah, we just have stop. We just have stop. Other questions on the GPS? There's one other thing I wanted to show you guys on the GPS.
Now, if you have two helmets hooked to it, will the GPS only play on the driver, or will it play on both?
You have individual control. Yep, so I'll show you that real quick. So we're gonna go back to our device manager where our helmets are connected. I'm gonna go into this helmet and go to connection settings, and you can turn your prompts off if you want to. You can turn your music off if you want to, and you can you can accept phone calls. So if you got a passenger behind you, you can hit the phone button when the phone starts ringing, and she answers it if you want to set it up that way. Totally up to you. Everybody have the HD app? You guys have the HD app on your phone? Because it works really well with this thing. I'm gonna switch us back to. So you can build rides on here and send them to the bike. It's easier to build them on a computer if you have. You can log into this on a desktop computer, so you have all your accounts together. Go into rides. This top up, I guess you can't really see where I'm touched down there, but the little three dots on the top, and then you go to My Rides. I've got the Spitzy's Test Ride route on there. Highlight it. Ride it. Uh-oh. There's supposed to be a send to bike button right there. Oh, I haven't added this bike yet. So I'm adding this bike right now. We're gonna call it demo bike. It automatically pulled up the VIN because we're connected to it via Bluetooth. So now that it's in there, when we go back to my rides, this is cool though if you're going on a group ride, because I can see how I can send it to the bike now. So it's gonna pop right up on the screen on there. But you can also share it with your friends. So if you have other friends who have the same bike, you go.
Or just the app, you just have to have the app, Brandon. If you
Yeah.
have the app and you have TV, if you have the app, and you send it to them, whether they have one of the these new bikes or the older ones, it's still gonna go on to their GPS.
Yeah, and you don't, realistically, if you're on a Softail or something and you got your phone in the phone mount, you can do it right on here. Yeah, so just hit the little share button in the top right, the middle one up there, and it just sends it as a link to any of your friends. Hit externally there and you can just send it to anybody. And once they click on it, it's gonna open this app and then you'll have your ride. That's the way you guys do it? That's cool. And there's a social network on here and stuff too. You can do with all these scenic rides that are all over the country, and you can record your ride and stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. You should definitely get it. You should definitely use it. Questions on the app? The only thing I got left is someone asked a while ago how to clear check engine codes that are inactive. So say your battery died and you got it on a tender, brought it back to life, turned your bike on, you got a check engine code. We're gonna turn the bike off to start with. And this is only for inactive codes that, like, from a dead battery or something. Press your trip button, the circle, hold it while you're turning it on. It's a little tricky to get the timing right, but eventually you'll get it to where it'll show you. There we go. So there's no codes on right now, so but it still shows you the. I'll run my phone. Did anyone see what I did with the remote? So there's different kinds of codes, and you scroll through with this thing. That's your control. BCM. Oh, I thought. I guess not. Ah, choose a touchscreen. All right, cool. But if you wanted to clear one, just clear it.
Do they say 0?
They all say 0 because there isn't a code flash.
You just couldn't see it.
Oh, my hand's in the way. Yeah, yeah. They're all. If there's a check engine light on, at least one of these is going to say 1 or 2, or it's usually BCM. But yeah, so like I said, it's turn the bike off, press your odometer switch, turn it on, and then any codes will come up, and you can clear them if they're clearable. So, yeah. Did anyone have other questions?
I got one.
Sure.
So on my bike, this has happened a couple times, like if you're making a hard turn and like you're in third gear and you don't downshift and it lugs a little bit, it seemed like it went into limp mode.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you like try?
Hard lean.
There is a tip over sensor, and actually when the 24s first came out, there was it was fixed since with a software update, but there was an issue where the tip over sensor was kicking on prematurely. So I had that happen to a couple people where their bikes wouldn't even turn on. Like they park in the garage overnight, everything's fine, they go in, they come back out, they turn it on, and there's a tip over sensor. But if that's happening, just call the guys, they'll do the software update. Not a problem anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Long-term storage without a battery, disconnect the battery.
Yeah. Brian was telling me the other day that if you have like a 2 or a 3 amp battery tender, it's not gonna work. You need at least a 4 amp.
5 amp.
5 amp.
5 amp.
Yeah.
Do that.
because we were having an issue with like our showroom bikes were dying because we got this old battery tender that we hook them up to, and it actually does the opposite. It drains your battery.
Right.
So that's the whole
Are
problem.
they pre-wired?
Yep. Yep. It's on the other side, like under this panel. We pull them out so they're all hanging out. But, there's, yeah. I've covered everything that I thought we should cover. If anybody has any other questions, if not, thank you for coming. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.